lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like
To us, black excellence, right?
that had to be there.
We getting tighter, you know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch. Like,
I hate you, man.
Unaware of anything going on here.
She would say, these are criminals. Diddy is a drug dealer, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there.
We good?
Oh, you put that thing on the wall.
Jay-Z just got implicated in one of the messiest Diddy Freak-Off cases yet. Not only was he allegedly at the scene where someone got assaulted, but he is also rumored to have participated in a cover-up of the entire thing. And that's not even the most shocking part. Allegedly, a lot of A-list celebs were involved in this whole drama, from the likes of Beyoncé and LeBron. Y'all, this story is messy. So without wasting time, let's dive starlight into all this drama and figure out exactly which celebrities were there. And why are they trying so hard to bury this story?
Now, I bet you want to know why Jay-Z and Beyonce's name keep popping up around the whole Diddy thing. Well, that's why I'm here. Now, first thing you gotta know is when somebody like Diddy gets taken down, things always start out as a rumor. Diddy has had rumors floating around for like decades. Well, Jay-Z had a problem. He right there in the corner, by the way. Jay-Z has had a few rumors himself, but more like speculation. People see Jay-Z in a picture of R. Kelly, they're like, I guess they both make music. Then Jay-Z with Harvey Weinstein. People are like, I guess they both do business. Then, of course, Jay-Z with Diddy. Now, hold on. Here's the thing.
Now, Jay's life is currently a mess after news report of him allegedly being involved in yet another Diddy Freak-Off scandal started going around. According to various news outlets, a guy by the name Joseph Manzaro has now come forward alleging that back in April 2015, he got drugged and transported against his will to a Diddy Freak-Off party that was taking place at House on Star Island in Miami that was owned by Gloria and Emilio Estefan. Diddy was hosting his son King Combs' birthday there, and that's the place where unspeakable things were allegedly done to Joseph. According to Joseph, once he got to the party, Gloria Estefan noticed he was not okay and told someone to call an ambulance. However, before they could do that, Emilio Estefan quickly whisked Joseph away. Now this is where the drama really begins. Allegedly, as Joseph was getting ushered away from people, he reportedly recalled seeing LeBron James in a white towel walking through the hallway, and LeBron told Gloria. Now, according to the complaint filed by Joseph, he was then taken via an underground tunnel to Diddy's mansion by former adult star Adria English. Joseph then alleges that after he regained partial consciousness, he woke up in a room with Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Now, apparently Beyoncé was shocked to see Joseph in the room. She was reportedly very confused and asked why a half-clothed guy with an adult toy strapped to his face was standing in front of her. According to the complaint, one of the defendants named in the suit allegedly responded to Beyoncé's question and said that Joseph was facing punishment from Diddy and that Diddy wanted him to see what they did to snitches. But y'all, this story gets even worse. Reportedly, Diddy then Joseph be degraded in front of others at the party before he got stripped down and forced to wear a thong, and a black leather mask with a rubber dam forcibly inserted and zipped closed over his head. Joseph was then subjected to a series of degrading and non-consensual acts. Now, Joseph claims he later came across Jacob Arabo, a well-known jeweler, and expressed confusion before Emilio Estefan allegedly instructed the men escorting him to move him away from Arabo. Guys, given the legal troubles Jay-Z has been having this year, it's no surprise his lawyers were quick to issue out a statement denying these allegations. Jay-Z wasn't in Florida at that time to witness this incident. He was engaged in easily findable public activities that prove he was not at this event. This is more nonsense that erodes the trust in our justice system. Now, word on the street is that Jay-Z and his legal team are going through it at the moment. You see, last year, Jay got implicated in yet another Diddy Freak-Off drama.
A lawsuit has accused rapper Jay-Z of a 13-year-old girl in 2000, allegedly alongside Sean Diddy Combs.
Now, the case was quickly dismissed in court, but not before it started a lot of drama. You see, once the lawsuit was filled by lawyer Tony Busby, he tried to approach Jay-Z and get a settlement so he could drop the entire thing. However, Jay-Z just came out swinging, and he accused attorney Tony Busby of trying to extort him out of a massive bag using what he called completely false, malicious, and fabricated assault claims. According to Jay's legal team, Busby allegedly tried to pressure him into paying a hush-hush settlement over accusations that Jay-Z drugged and assaulted a woman at one of Diddy's infamous parties. Jay said it's all lies, and that Busby threatened him with a whole list of consequences if he didn't pay up, like more lawsuits, going public with the woman's identity, and even reporting him to the FBI. But Mr. Busby, he did not initially back down. In fact, he became livid. He came out claiming that Jay-Z was just trying to silence the alleged victims and distract from the real story. In a statement to the Mirror, he said, "We won't allow the powerful and their high-dollar lawyers to intimidate or silence us survivors." He also called Jay-Z's counter-lawsuit laughable and without merit, saying it's nothing more than a smear campaign against him for doing what he always does, sending out a standard demand letter asking for a private mediation. According to Busby, there was no blackmail, no extortion, and definitely no request for cash. He says he was just trying to resolve things privately without making it a media circus. Now here is where things get really interesting.
Just learned that a civil case accusing Sean Combs and Sean Jay-Z Carter of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old was dismissed today.
After the lawsuit got tossed out of court, the Jane Doe who filled it came out and dropped some bombshell news. Apparently, Tony Busby pressured her into suing Jay-Z. Apparently, despite Jane Doe's repeatedly telling lawyer Busby J did nothing to her. He allegedly pushed her towards going forward with the false story to strengthen the case and extort more money. And now, just when people thought the drama was dying out, lawyer Busby is trying to switch up the story.
So this is crazy, but Tony Busby, who has filed a gazillion lawsuits against Diddy, not related to the criminal case, but filed all sorts of lawsuits. There have been a lot of issues surrounding him with, in particular, one woman who made a claim both against Jay-Z and Diddy.
Exactly.
Who then dropped the claim, and Jay-Z is now suing that woman and Tony Busby for defamation. Well, Tony Busby says, "You have no right to sue me." He has gone to court saying, "Judge, dismiss this lawsuit against me because we had a deal, bro, exclamation point."
Now, Busby wants Jay's lawsuit against him to be tossed out of court because he believes he and Jay-Z had an agreement after the Jane Doe lawsuit was dropped. And not only that, Busby alleges that Jay used his money and influence to bully Jane Doe into dropping her case against him. According to New Court docs, Busby is calling Jay's whole lawsuit out, saying not only did Jay file in the wrong jurisdiction, but he also failed to lay out any real legal basis for the case at all. But wait, it gets even messier. Busby is now claiming that Jay-Z paid the Jane Doe hush money, and they reached an agreement to settle this whole thing months ago. He says the pressure from Jay-Z and his team allegedly became too much for the woman to handle, and on February 4th, 2025, an agreement was reached between her and Jay through their attorneys, which led to her voluntarily dismissing her original case in the Southern District of New York. So, Busby's basically saying, why are we even here? This was supposed to be done and dusted. But here's where the questions start rolling in. If they did reach a private agreement, why is Jay-Z still suing Busby now? Is he trying to rewrite the narrative after the fact? Or is Busby trying to use a shaky settlement to dodge accountability? Anyways, Jay's lawyer Alex Spiro came out and told TMZ that Busby is completely delusional for even thinking there was some kind of settlement. According to Spiro, total lie. He brought a false case, lost badly, and was forced to dismiss quickly. End of story. Mic drop, right? But not so fast, because Busby's lawyer, Marky Kasowitz, quickly clapped back saying, Spiro's statement that there was no agreement is a total fabrication. And y'all, he didn't stop there. He claims receipts were exchanged, yes, emails, that clearly spelled out the deal. And guess what? Part of that alleged agreement, according to Kasowitz, was that Spiro would withdraw a Rule 11 sanctions motion against Busby's law firm. Kasowitz continued, we agreed to withdraw the lawsuit that Jane Doe had brought for rape against Jay-Z and Mr. Combs, even though Jane Doe continued to maintain that the allegations in that lawsuit were true, and Jay-Z and Spiro agreed not to send any more people to harass and intimidate Jane Doe and her family. 1 week later, Jay-Z and his lawyer breached that agreement flagrantly by sending supposed investigators to harass and intimidate Jane Doe and her family. Y'all, the back and forth between Jay-Z's legal team and Tony Busby's camp just keeps getting messier, and the receipts are not matching up. Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, is now saying that while Mark Kasowitz, Busby's attorney, did reach out asking them to cool it with the investigation into Busby's law firm, the claim that there was some explicit agreement involving Jane Doe, he says that's a hard no. Spiro is basically saying, yeah, they begged us to chill, but we never made a deal to stop going after anyone. And here's where things get even spicier. The Jane Doe lawsuit was dismissed with prejudice, which means it's dead and buried, legally speaking. It can't be refiled. And most importantly, there's no mention of any settlement or agreement in her filing. So what's Kasowitz talking about? Because from what Spiro is saying, there was never any formal agreement involving Jay-Z or Jane Doe, just some panicked emails trying to save face and avoid sanctions. At this point, the question is Busby bluffing? Or are Jay-Z's lawyers trying to spin a quiet dismissal into a full-blown victory lap? Whatever the truth is, somebody's not telling the full story, and the whole internet can see this. I mean, just take a look at these reactions from people after the news went viral. Why did Jay-Z need a private deal if he's innocent? Jay-Z is in trouble, and he'll pay for any crimes he committed. They always get popped by karma in the end. It wasn't Busby, it was his lawyer who arranged the deal with Jay-Z. Jay-Z is a liar and shady as hell. There was to an agreement. It may not have been a formal written one, but it was one via email nonetheless. And Busby had every reason to think it was legitimate. Why else would Jay-Z drop the lawsuit, and then he files it again after Jane Doe drops hers? Come on now. And furthermore, as part of the agreement, it was stated that Jay-Z would leave her alone, and then he has the nerve to go and hire private investigators and harass her? That's F it up. He reneged on everything. Jay-Z is nothing but a first-class scam artist. Anyways, what do y'all think about this scandal Jay-Z has found himself in? And why do you think his name keeps popping up in these Diddy cases? Let me know your opinion in the comments. And don't forget to check out our previous stories because